told us the other day that perhaps you're leaning on your old Appalachian State experience and play calling nowadays with a running quarterback. Is that at all playing into it? Or?
Am I leaning on my old App State?
Yeah.
We're not doing any different, nothing any different than what we have been doing. I mean, we've always done this since I've been here. We haven't really changed anything offensively, to tell you the truth.
Does he remind you of those days with running quarterbacks and that sort of thing that you guys had back then?
You know, there's times he does a lot of good things, and you know, that was a long time ago. The quarterback we had there is totally different than he is, but he has some ability to get on the edge and make defenders, I say, press a little bit to get them nervous. But you know, we're still continuing the same old stuff we've always done.
What have you seen from Missouri's D-line? I mean, it seems like they always have talent.
They do. You know, they're fast, they're physical, they get up the field. One of the things is just they're so relentless. They play with great effort. I mean, some of the things you see from those guys, they're chasing balls down. That's the number one thing I always see from those guys. And the first time they stepped into this conference, they have been unbelievable. They play with great effort, and I respect that.
How did Zach Bailey grade out in his first start?
Well, you know, he did okay. He had some things that he can get better on. But when you put a freshman in there and snap into a freshman, probably the first thing that you have a little bit of concern with is snapping the football. You know, and boy, his snaps were on point. He did a good job. He didn't get overwhelmed. Played with confidence, played with poise, and you know, anytime an offensive lineman can go in there as a true freshman and play successful football, I'm pretty pleased with it. So I thought he did a pretty good job.
No, obviously it's an 11 a.m. start there this Saturday.
Yes.
But obviously crowd noise could still be a factor. So you know, get with a freshman center and a freshman quarterback, you know, silent counter. How are you going to adapt to that? Which should be
we'll figure it out Saturday. We'll figure it out. You know, we've got numerous ways to snap the football and cadences, so we'll make the best one work.
Sean, Coach Spurrier has indicated that it's sort of play calling by committee as the game goes. GA's got some input, you've got some input, he's got some input. How does it work mechanically? Are you all talking back and forth to each other? Is there one person who talks? Is there a cutoff to say? Like, who says, okay, this is it, go?
Listen, mainly from my perspective and my input, you know, I throw out suggestions. Right. I see formations and techniques up front, and I see where we can attack the football, and I say, hey, let's do this. Let's see it right here. Let's see it right here. So I just throw my suggestions in there. We have a great camaraderie with our group. We don't have a lot of bickering, you know, whether it's Coach Mangus making a play call, Coach Spurrier, you know, everyone has suggestions, and I think you have to work well as an offensive staff to do that. And I think every offensive staff does that as well. I don't think there's one signal caller that just makes every single play call throughout college football. There's always guys and inputs that go through the course of the game. So we work well together, and you know, right now we're doing a pretty good job with it. So.
And y'all are literally having these conversations before each play, right? All three of you are talking during that time.
It's before each series. It's before each series, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then in the series, there's just one guy who says, this is it. I mean, because I know it's a time crunch there.
Oh,
you can't be having a conversation.
No, you certainly
in the 40-second shot.
No, we're not conversating between that.
So the conversations are happening between series. And
right there, it'll be like the last play. If I see something in that formation, I'll say immediately, right there, we got this.
Right.
Probably the next play we may stay in that formation, get that play called.
Is there any one of your guys that has really stood out to you since the season?
You know,
started?
one thing you got to understand about offensive line, you don't have anyone stand out. You know, they either play well together or they don't. So we try not to individualize that position, make that group to be as best as they can. And if one plays well and the other four doesn't, what does it matter? You know, you got to play well as a group. So we try not to individualize and do all that kind of stuff. We try to make sure they understand whether we play well as a group or not.
Thanks, Sean.
Yes, thank y'all.